Hey there, guys. So I just look like fabulous, right? Like, no. No. My makeup's probably smeared because I've had on all day. But it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't want to go to sleep yet. I mean, I'm really tired and I should go to sleep, but I don't want to yet. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I decided, while looking through things on the internet, that since, my mother already knows that I self-harm because of my guidance counselor, I might as well just do this video. Like, I don't even care. I had covered my scars up, so I will be able to show it if I have to from any of these questions that I found online from the 30-day self-harm challenge. Not really specific questions for the internet, but, anyway, I'm gonna get on with this. Question number 1. Ooh, question number 1. Okay, so how long you've been cutting and why you cut, and then discuss it. I've been cutting since the beginning of the school year. A couple weeks in, actually. And it's really like I've been cutting. At first it was just like bullies because I guess I was so used to being able to come home to my dad, and like everything go away. And then he died in 2011 and things just started building up from all those years of being bullied without him to keep my mind off of it. And I guess that's why I started, because I had nothing to like get my mind off of it. And then like my therapist, oh my god, my mom made me get a therapist. Yeah, and she doesn't do me any good. I will tell you the why later. But she told my mother that I have underlying issues with my dad dying. Like, no, I don't have issues with him dying. I've coped. I don't need to cope more. Like, I understand, he died, I coped. I'm sad. Sometimes I'll think of him, get sad, I'll be fine afterwards, okay? I'll just cry a little bit, look at things, look at like sad things on the internet. Like, I don't cut because he died, okay? That's what really annoys me, because the therapist said that. But, I guess that's just kind of why I started, because I had nothing to take my mind off of it at the time. And then it just really got addicting. Like, I did it a few times, and then I was like, it's all this time, I'm gonna stop. And it just got addicting. Like, it wasn't even for bullying anymore, it was because I wanted to feel it. Like, I wanted to feel the pain. Like, I wanted to feel the razor just through my skin. It wasn't because of bullying anymore, it was an addiction, and I just wanted to feel that. I just wanted to feel that again. So, started getting like that. Part of body most affected by it. I could have said a few months back it would have been just my thighs, because like I never cut my arms, but they're fading now. So I think most affected is probably now my arms, because these ones are fading on my thighs, and you can't see them because they're like, you got like concealer on them, and you can only see them like this close. Like, I can see them from here, but like this close is easiest. So that's like, yeah, my arm's like the most affected now. My motivation to recover, really, I realize, oh my god, it's cold. I realize I need to stop. Because like I can't be doing it my whole life because it's an addiction. It's kind of like drugs. Like, the person might like it, but they know they need to stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? And like, they might get help for it, and it might help them stop. But for me, the therapist doesn't help at all. And like I said, I'll explain at the end of the video. But my motivation to recover, I guess you could say my nephew and my niece, because recently I've started thinking about this. A few days ago I was at my sister's, and my nephew, he's 2, he'll be 3 in September, and like he had his hand like in my hoodie sleeve, and like he was trying to get this key thing for my mom's car, And he like, I guess he like looked at my shirt because he started saying hurt, like, and like pointing to my arm and like trying to lift my sleeve up. He kept saying hurt. And my sister was like, she's not hurt, because my sister doesn't know that I self-harm, and I want her to know because she's my sister, but she doesn't know that I self-harm. So like, he come and saying hurt, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, this kid's smarter than I thought. And I was like, since then I just started thinking about it, you know, like, what's he gonna, when I grow up, when he grows up and gets old enough to actually see things and ask questions about it, what am I going to tell him? Like, if I have new ones, what am I going to tell him? That I'm still doing it? No, when he gets older, I want to be able to tell him that these were battle scars from things that I went through when I was little, when I was younger, and then I wasn't going through it anymore. I don't want to tell him that I'm still going through it. You know, I want him to think of me as his aunt that's there for him through anything, not, you know, somebody who's still going through this stuff. I feel like I wouldn't be strong for him. He wouldn't think of me as strong. So that's probably my motivation. 4. Oh yeah, that wouldn't count. Addicted. Am I addicted? Do I consider myself addicted? Why or why not? Yes, I consider myself addicted because, as I've explained, it's not because of bullying anymore. It's because I want to feel the pain. Like, it's horrible. Okay, see, when my mom first found out that I had stopped, like, because she had found out I didn't want new ones, or her finding out again or something, like, so I stopped, and I was a month and 4 days clean, and I was so proud of myself. But one night, like, I just wanted to feel my skin and my, like, ripping apart again. So like, I cut my shoulders, like both my shoulders, which they're fading, so you can barely see them, but I cut both my shoulders and my stomach right here, and then like on my thigh over here. And like, that was the last time I had cut, and I haven't cut since then, which I'm extremely proud of. But last night I had this like horrible night. Like, I went and saw my therapist Thursday, and then yesterday I had been like stressing about how much I hate her to my friends, and like, it just, I guess, built up in me, and like, I had to keep my hands busy because my blades are just like there, and like, I had to keep my hands like busy. And so like, I texted my friend and she wasn't answering me, so like, I was freaking out. Like, I had to get on iFunny and just like keep my hands busy until she like texted me back, and then she talked me out of it, you know. And by the end of the night I was perfectly fine, and I'm very grateful for that friend because she knows what I go through. Like, she may not be my own personal free therapist because that one doesn't have a friend anymore. No, my other friend, she did it in 8th grade. We got help for it, so I'm grateful for her. I really am. She helped me. Number 5. What part do you dislike the most of self-harming? The fear. What I don't like the most is like I said, my niece and my nephew, you know, finding out later on when they grow up. Because my niece is like really young. She'll be a year in July. And my nephew is 2, and he'll be 3 in September, so I'm really worried about either of them finding out. So that's the part I dislike the most, because like, it's not the pain that I dislike. It's not the scars that I dislike, it's just that. What part do I enjoy the most? Yeah. The pain, the feeling of my skin ripping apart is what I like most. And kind of hate myself for that sometimes, but, you know. Number 7, 10 activities that help me calm down. Read, scroll through iFunny, scroll through Facebook, do one of these videos, write, draw, talk to a friend, watch TV, play cards, you know, like, keep my hands busy in any way. Any way I can keep my hands busy. Most supportive thing about self-harm that I have been told. Really nothing. Like, nobody comes up to me about it and like says something like really supportive about it. which I don't care. Like, seriously, I don't need you to tell me something that's like, important, it's like supportive. But I've never really been told anything really supportive about it. Just, you know, it's me. I tell myself things. I don't know. Number 9. Have I ever taken pictures of myself, of my scars? Discuss. Yes, I have. I've put them on, like, one time my therapist had called them a mess, my arm's a mess, so I put it on Whisper. It's like, my therapist called these a mess, like, no. And then, like, just a few days ago, I had to tell my ex. I broke up with him the other day, and a few days ago, no, yesterday, I broke up with him, like, the day before yesterday, and then yesterday I was, like, kind of freaking out, my friend wouldn't answer her phone, so I had to text him. And I had showed him a few days before that. So, it's about the only 2 times I've taken pictures. Number 10, how do I feel about my scars? I'm perfectly fine with them. I'm not ashamed or anything. Like, I wear short sleeves out in public. Like, as long as it's not around my grandmother, because she's too old to understand. Like, both my grandmother too old to understand. But, like, I'd roll up my sleeves in public if it was hot. I would wear short sleeves out in public. I don't care. Like, if somebody thinks that I'm a freak because of it, screw them. Because I do not care. Strangest place I've ever cut. I have never cut anywhere strange. It's always been in private. Always been in my room, always been in the bathroom, always been, yeah, mostly those 2 places. When I first started, it's like down when my mom wasn't home, because I didn't want to sleep in my room because it's like always hot or something. I can't remember. Number 12. Where do I keep my tools? I used to keep them in this drawer right here. That, the phone you cannot, this drawer. All of this stuff. I used to keep it in there. But after I had to get rid of those ones. Like, my mom's downstairs. And I hope she's sleeping. Not up here. But yeah, I got this big deck of cards. So piece of paper tells me how to play poker. And then right in there. Keep them in there, and that's why I was like panicking, because it was right there. I couldn't take it up, but I was fine after a while. I'm glad. 13. Biggest realization I've had. Biggest realization. They're gonna be there forever, whether or not they're noticeable. And, you know, my nephew's gonna ask questions, my niece is gonna ask questions, and, you know, those are really my main concerns, my niece and nephew, because I don't care what anybody else thinks, but my niece and nephew, I have to be their aunt, I have to be their, like, flawless aunt. I don't know. Inspiration. What's my inspiration to recovery? Is anybody my inspiration to recovery? Again, my niece and nephew. Because, you know, I don't think of my mom and be like, oh my god, she's gonna hate me for doing this, or she's gonna be so upset, or she's gonna ask questions, or any of that. I think of my niece and my nephew. When I do, like, I think, oh my god, when I get older, they're gonna ask me questions. When they get older, they're gonna ask me questions. I'm gonna have to answer them, and they're not gonna understand because they're gonna be so young. And then, like, I don't want them to go through it. Like, knowing the generation now, the generation when they get older is gonna be horrible, and I don't want them to go through it and start cutting. And if I ever did find out that they were cutting, I would talk to them. But they're really my only inspiration to recovery. Do I visit any websites about self-harm, and what are they? No, actually. Usually go on Google. Or scroll through iFunny, because they always have stuff on there about it. What would be my advice to somebody who self-harms? I tell them, I'm not going to tell them to stop cutting, because I know it's not that easy. Unlike my friend, she seems to think it's that easy, but I talk to them and I'd let them know like that I know what they're going through. Like I'd show them my scars and I tell them they can talk to me anytime. I can be your own like personal therapist that's free. Like I have a friend that's like that. Like we're like like I